Well, hello there. Good morning. Welcome to the daily cyber briefing for Tuesday, the 1st of July. Pinch punch, 1st of the month. Also, the hottest day of the year. In the southeast where I am, we're going to hit 34 degrees today. So do try and stay cool as best you can. Plenty of breaks. Cancel your meetings. Try and relax. So, headlines for this morning. Europol dismantles a massive crypto investment scam targeting 5,000 plus victims worldwide. The US warns of Iranian cyber threats on critical infrastructure. Scattered Spider continue their hacking spree with airline sector attacks. The US CISA adds Citrix NetScaler flaw to its KEV database, known exploited vulnerabilities. And Chrome 138 update patches 0-day vulnerability. So, to the top of the news, Europol dismantles a massive crypto investment scam targeting 5,000 plus victims worldwide. So, this is Europol and other international law enforcement agencies. They've dismantled a sprawling cryptocurrency investment fraud network that allegedly defrauded more than 5,000 victims globally, laundering at least 460 million euros, which is around $540 million in illicit funds. The arrests carried out on June the 25th mark one of the largest crackdowns on crypto fraud in European history. So it's massive. The operation was spearheaded by Spain's Guardia Civil, with critical support from Europol and law enforcement agencies in Estonia, France, and the US. 5 individuals were arrested, 3 in Spain's Canary Islands, 2 in Madrid, with authorities conducting simultaneous property searches in both locations. The operation, known as Operation Borelli, targeted a sophisticated criminal structure that utilized a global network of associates to funnel stolen funds through cash withdrawals, bank transfers, and crypto transactions. Investigators uncovered a complex laundering mechanism designed to obscure the origins of the stolen money. The criminal group allegedly established a corporate and banking infrastructure in Hong Kong, leveraging payment gateways and user accounts registered under various identities across multiple cryptocurrency exchanges. This multi-layered approach allowed the network to receive, hold, and transfer illicit funds with relative anonymity, complicating efforts by authorities to trace the money. So Europol began supporting the Spanish investigation in 2023, providing coordination, operational support, and strategic analysis. On the day of the arrests, a cryptocurrency specialist from Europol was deployed to Spain to assist local investigators in analysing digital financial data. The agency's involvement was instrumental in unravelling the complex financial web constructed by the fraudsters. Despite the successful arrests, Europol emphasised that the investigation remains ongoing, with authorities continuing to analyse the network's international connections and the full extent of its criminal activities. The case highlights the growing threat posed by online fraud, which Europol has identified as an epidemic affecting EU citizens, business, and public institutions. According to the agency's 2025 Serious and Organised Crime Threat Assessment, that's the EU SOCTA, the scale, variety, sophistication, and reach of online fraud schemes are unprecedented. Europol warns that online fraud is expected to surpass other forms of serious and organised crime, accelerated by the use of AI in social engineering and data exploitation. The operation involved a range of international partners, including Estonia's Police and Border Guard, France's New Caledonia National Gendarmerie, and the US Homeland Security investigations. This level of cooperation underscores the global nature of modern financial crime and the necessity for cross-border collaboration in combating increasingly sophisticated criminal networks. The dismantling of this crypto fraud ring serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities within digital financial systems and the urgent need for enhanced security measures. With thousands of victims worldwide and hundreds of millions of euros at stake, the operation stands as a significant victory for law enforcement, but also as a warning of the growing sophistication and global reach of financial crime in the digital age. Next up, US warns of Iranian cyber threats on critical infrastructure. US cyber agencies, the FBI and NSA, issued an urgent warning today about potential cyber attacks from Iranian affiliated hackers targeting US critical infrastructure. CISA says there are no indications of any ongoing campaigns, but urges critical infrastructure organizations and other potential targets to monitor their defense due to the current unrest in the Middle East and cyber attacks previously linked to Iran. In a joint fact sheet, which is linked to in this article, and this article will be linked in the socials, the cyber agencies warn that defense industrial-based companies with ties to Israeli defense and research are at increased risk of being targeted. Other organizations in critical infrastructure sectors, including energy, water, and healthcare, are also considered potential targets. The advisory warns that Iranian threat actors The advisory warns that Iranian threat actors are known to exploit unpatched vulnerabilities or utilize default passwords to gain access to systems. This was seen last year when IRGC-affiliated Iranian threat actors breached a Pennsylvania water facility in November 2023 by hacking into Unitronics programmable logic controllers exposed online. The hackers also work with or act as hacktivists, performing distributed denial of service attacks or defacing websites. These attacks are often conducted in conjunction with politically motivated messages, with the attackers promoting their activities on X and Telegram. Iranian threat actors have also been observed utilizing ransomware or working as affiliates with Russian ransomware gangs such as No Escape, Ransom House, and Alpha V, also known as Black Cat. Many of these attacks were focused on Israeli companies, where they encrypted devices and leaked stolen data. In some cases, the attacker used data wipers instead of ransomware to conduct destructive attacks on organizations. So, best practices to protect against these threats: isolate your OT and ICS systems from the public internet and restrict remote access. Use strong, unique passwords for all online accounts and systems, changing all default account passwords. Enable MFA for critical systems and authentication platforms. Install all software updates, especially on internet-facing systems, to fix known vulnerabilities. Monitor networks and servers for unusual activity, and develop and test incident response plans to make sure that all backups and recovery plans are working. Okay, next, Scattered Spider hacking spree continues with airline sector attacks. A new wave of attacks on organizations in the aviation sector by members of Scattered Spider have drawn fresh attention to what Microsoft and others consider one of the most dangerous financially motivated threat groups currently active. In a post on X on Friday, the FBI warned of Scattered Spider actors deploying their usual slick social engineering tricks, which include deceiving IT help desks into granting them access to attack airline companies and their partners. They target large corporations and their third-party IT providers, which means anyone in the airline ecosystem, including trusted vendors and contractors, could be at risk, the FBI alert stated. Once the attacker gains access to a victim's environment, they steal sensitive data for extortion purposes and often deploy ransomware, said the FBI. The FBI didn't mention any victims by name, but in recent weeks, at least two airline companies, Hawaiian Airlines and Canada's WestJet, have reported cybersecurity incidents that disrupted at least some of their service. Neither airline has officially at least identified Scattered Spider as their attacker, but the incidents track with what others such as Mandiant and Palo Alto have also recently reported about Scattered Spider's new focus on the aviation sector. In a recent statement to media outlets, Mandiant said it is aware of multiple incidents in the airline and transportation sector which resemble the operations of UNC 3944 or Scattered Spider. Next up, US CISA. They add Citrix NetScaler flaw to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. So I know that Stephen talked to you about this on a previous daily cyber briefing. There is a Citrix NetScaler vulnerability tracked as CVE 2025-6543, and CISA have added it to KEV, the known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. It does have a CVSS score of 9.2. It's a memory overflow vulnerability in NetScaler ADC and NetScaler gateways when configured as a gateway, i.e. VPN virtual server, an ICA proxy, RDP proxy, or a AAA virtual server. Memory overflow vulnerability leading to unintended control flow and denial of service in NetScaler ADC and NetScaler gateway, reads the description of the flaw. It can lead to unintended control flow and potentially cause a denial of service, disrupting service availability. So, basically patch your way out of it, in short. It's too hot to read all of this article. I'll give you the link to the article in the socials. But basically, yes. The CISA orders federal agencies to fix vulnerabilities by July the 21st, 2025. I suggest you do the same if you're running NetScaler kit. So absolutely go and patch it, because it's now official. It's been exploited in the wild. We know that, because otherwise it wouldn't be in CISA's KEV database. We like the Kev. It's a good database. Get access to it if you haven't already. Okay, finally for this morning, Chrome 138 update patches 0-day vulnerability. So Google on Monday announced a fresh Chrome update that resolves a high severity vulnerability for which an exploit exists in the wild. Tracked as CVE 2025-6554, the bug is described as a type confusion in the open source V8 JavaScript and WebAssembly engine. A strain of memory safety bugs, type confusion issues can be exploited to trigger unexpected software behavior, leading to crashes, remote code execution, and other types of attack. Successful exploitation of the new Chrome security defect could allow remote attackers to perform arbitrary read and write operations using crafted HTML pages and NIST advisory reads as follows. Google is aware that an exploit for CVE 2025-6554 exists in the wild. Okay, so the vulnerability was reported on June the 25th, and mitigations are rolled out the next day, which is great. Not a problem there. Incidentally, well, I'm running Linux, but I've been notified that the Google Chrome update is available to me today. So that's a pretty good turnaround, both by Google and by various operating system vendors as well. So if you're running it, get it patched. The latest version is 138.0.7204.96 and 97 for Windows. 138.0.7204.92 and 93 for Mac OS, and version 138.0.7204.96 for Linux. Users are advised to update their browsers as soon as possible. So please go ahead and do so. This is the 4th Chrome vulnerability documented this year. So for all of those vulnerabilities that have been announced this year, there is an exploit, essentially. These exploits exist. Google are patching them super quickly, which is great. But you need to go ahead and do the same, please. So that's the news. Links to the articles that we've been using this morning will be on all the socials. If you need more information, follow those links. They have source documentation, CVEs, all sorts of things in them. So you'd be well advised to do so. And that is the end of today's daily cyber briefing. So I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning when hopefully it's not as hot. Thanks very much.